All right. So, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have the Night of the Arts, but I would like us to still be able to have an art show. So, I found this really cool idea from the Tiny Art Show on Instagram, and they were hosting a competition called the Quaren-Teeny Art Show. So, the next assignment that we're going to do can be done as a family or as an individual. So, for instance, if you have a sibling that's in second grade and you're in fourth grade, you can work together as a family in order to come up with your own tiny art show. So the idea is that everything is tiny. Your artwork will be tiny, the gallery space will be tiny, and even the spectators will be tiny. And I'm going to try and go through a bunch of examples that should spark your inspiration. So, as a family, you're going to create a tiny art show and it will hang up in your home. And the way that we're going to share everyone's art shows is through the photography, which is one of the components of the assignment. And then I will put everyone's tiny art shows together. And then I'll be able to share basically a school wide art show in place of the Night of the Arts. So we want you guys to get as creative as possible. A lot of the examples I'm going to show you, one component inspires a different component. So, for instance, if somebody wanted to use a specific toy figurine, like which would be the tiny spectators, their artwork might be about the spectators that are coming, or the location might inform your artwork. And you definitely don't need to buy any art supplies in order to do this assignment. Whatever you have at home, you as long as you're creative with it, you'll be very successful with this. All right, so I'm going to go through a couple examples. So in this cute example, the tiny art show is called Wool, A Sheep's Journey. And the artist must experiment a lot with wool. So all of her pieces of artwork are made in wool. And obviously that's fancy. And but I just want to I use hers as a way of like showing how she's tying the theme of the show, the medium, and the tiny spectator together. So if you don't know, her tiny art show is just two cardboard boxes that like she cut, and it's located in her kitchen. And this is the series of artwork that she had hung up, and her tiny guest was a sheep, and that kind of goes along with her wool theme. So there's 4 components to this assignment, and it's going to be broken up into several weeks of time. So the first component is the series of your tiny artwork, which you can do by yourself or you can work together as a family. You do not have to do frames. There is a couple creative solutions. If you wanted to do frames, you could, again, draw the frames out around your artwork, or you could use pieces of cardboard and maybe paint them gold or a wooden color. The second component is the location of the artwork. So you're going to see a couple examples of how people have used their homes itself, like corners of their homes or shelves in their homes, as a way of setting places to like have their art show. You could also, again, use like a diorama, like a shoebox or a cardboard box, and have it be like a portable show where you could take it technically anywhere and photograph it. Or you could even have your art show outside. And I'm going to show you a couple examples of that as well. And all the guests are also tiny. They could be toys, they could be figurines, they could be even live things. I'm going to show you an example where they had baby chicks or pets that they use it as their guests for their art show. And then the last component is to photograph your art show. And the reason why the photographs are so important is so that we can share as a Lawnside family all of our art shows. And I will make a video with all of the photographs that you guys submit. And we'll have a Quaren-Teeny art show opening, hopefully at the end of May. So this is another example. And